Any Longhorns fans?
No.
Aggies?
No.
St. Edward's Hilltoppers? Houston Tillotson Rams?
Yay!
The Longhorns football team. Football is back in season now. And we often see them playing on the field, but we don't often see them in other contexts, like how they act during banquets. When I was the president of San Juan Diego Catholic High School, now some 20 years ago, we would invite the dining etiquette coach of the UT Longhorns football team to give a dining etiquette lesson to our students. It was always fascinating. You know, what do you do with all these forks and knives and spoons, and which glass is mine, which bread is mine? We invited the dining etiquette coach of the Longhorns football team to speak with our students. It was a tradition, actually, that I carried on when I went to Cristo Rey. Father Roy may remember a dining etiquette lesson that I gave at the Headliners Club in downtown Austin. Today's gospel is all about dining etiquette. Did you hear it? In today's gospel, Jesus begins his lesson by saying, if you're invited to a dinner, and you know that the head of the house is going to be seated at one end of the table, don't try to seat yourself right beside him or her, because it could be the case that someone else more important than you is there, and they'll say, oh, do you mind giving your seat to this person? And you, in shame, will have to sit at the far end of the table. Did you hear that? A lesson in dining etiquette. What was Jesus' lesson in today's gospel? Instead of trying to be elbow to elbow with the host at the head of the table, what should you do? Where should you try to sit? Sit at the other end, so that when the host sees you, the host will say, hey, what are you doing down there? Come closer. Brothers and sisters, today's scriptures give us lessons in humility. Did you catch that in today's first reading? In today's first reading, Sirach says, the more you humble yourself, the greater you will be. Conduct your affairs with what? Humility. In many ways, it's simply trying to live out Jesus' command, to love others with the same love that we love ourselves. Or in the words of the Golden Rule, do we all remember the Golden Rule? What are the words of the Golden Rule? Do unto others what? As you would have them do unto you. So now imagine the example of sitting down at a banquet with all sorts of people again. Which seat are you going to choose? If you're going to do unto others as you would have them do unto you, if you're going to love others like yourself, instead of elbowing them out of the way to get to the head of the table, what are we going to do? We're going to think about moving them closer to the front of the table. Isn't that putting others ahead of ourselves? Isn't that what parents and grandparents do all the time? Putting the needs of their kids and grandkids before their own? Brothers and sisters, today's scriptures give us some very important lessons. We might say that those lessons come from Jesus, but let's be honest. Jesus' mom was sharing those lessons even before Jesus came on this earth. Luke chapter 1. It contains a song or a canticle that Mary sang or shared when she found out that she was pregnant and she went and visited her cousin Elizabeth. Do you remember the words of that song? Are you ready for today's exercise? We need two hands for this exercise. Ready? One hand is going to be on top and the other hand is on the bottom. Ready? Shall we do it together? One hand is on top and the other hand is on the bottom. Because Mary said that those who think that they're on top, the rich and the powerful, the arrogant and the proud of this world, what's going to happen when God sends God's promised one, the Messiah? They're going to be cast down. And who's going to be lifted up? The poor and the humble and the hungry. Did I say the humble? Mary talked about how this world is going to turn. Did you follow that? How the proud, the rich, the arrogant are going to be cast down, and and the humble are going to be lifted up. I suspect the question that we each have to ask ourselves when we look in the mirror today, tomorrow, this week is, where are we? Are we more with the proud and the arrogant, those who are saying, serve me? Or are we more on the side of the humble who say, allow me to serve you? Like mother, like son. Amen?
Amen.
That's the lesson of today's gospel. Jesus tells us in today's gospel, those who exalt themselves will be humbled, like mother, like son. Those who humble themselves will be exalted. As today's Mass program suggests, that image on the front cover, humility is not about thinking less of ourselves. It's about thinking of ourselves a little less, so that we can think about others a little more. Sisters, brothers, as we begin this new football season and jump into a new week, let's consider the etiquette that Jesus presents to us today, and how it is that we need to be doing unto others as we would have them do to us, because that's going to lead to greater humility and service to the other servants of God that we find in this world.